Okay. So, okay, asadharana dharma, not atma. Asadharana dharma is, see, whenever we talk about dharma, here dharma means quality. The context of equality, an attribute, okay, and that which becomes an adjective to a noun. It's a quality. So we understand dharma that way. Adjective. Anything good, bad, light, dark, bright, dull, all these are adjectives. They're all dharmas. They're called sadharana dharma. All this is called sadharana dharma. And then what about Atma? If somebody asks us to define Atma, then what happens? We get into a fix because anything we say to define becomes an attribute, a quality of that object. Okay. Somebody asks you to tell me what is an apple. Without talking about the qualities of apple, you can't really communicate the object. No object can be communicated without talking about the attributes of the object. This is Nirgunam. Brahma is Nirgunam, Atma is Nirgunam. How are you going to define it? It's impossible to define. Really speaking. Then what about this Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma? Or what about this Sach Chit Ananda, Ananta Atma? Are they attributes of Atma? If we say, no, they are not attributes of Atma. They they are they are. It is through them that we understand Atma. Atma is consciousness. Atma is Satyam. Means that which sustains everything. That is Satyam of all the Mithya Jagat. And Anantam, all pervasive. All pervasiveness is not an attribute of Atma. It is Atma. So, like that, in order to say that, we use the word. These three words are not sadharana dharma, they are asadharana dharma. Like that, we use a word. It's a technical word. Asadharana dharma. If you want to call it dharma, then make sure it is asadharana. Means it is not the dharma that you're used to thinking as. That is the meaning of that phrase asadharana dharma. Okay. So it's an important thing, right? Because Nirgunam Brahma, if you define, and if you start giving attributes to Nirgunam Brahma, then it's no longer Nirgunam. So we have to catch ourselves. These are all very important points. So hope that helps, Hemalata. Yeah. Swapna.
Verse 40, second line, Esha tu deshatah. Is there a sandhi there, tu deshatah?
Yes, yes, there is. Tu.
How does it work?
Tu and Uddeshatah. Tu. Esha tu. Uddeshatah. Proktah. Because earlier he is saying, Nantaha asti. There's no end to it. There is no end to it, he says, and then again he concludes. That means what? That means you have ended your vibhuti. That is the meaning. It's contradictory. Therefore, he is using the word tu. Eshaha tu. Eshaha means which I have told you. Proktaha, that which I have told you. Tu. On the other
So
hand,
uddeshatah, right?
correct. Deshataha. Panchamyas tasil, I think that is a Panini Sutra. Deshataha. From the standpoint of giving you a sample of, an illustration of, that is the meaning of Uddeshataha.
I have a second question.
Panchami is
Last,
so interesting. So, Uddeshataha. Yeah, from the standpoint of Panchami. Yeah. Go ahead.
my second question is, Iti Srimad Bhagavad Gita Su, it is Rasva Su, then Upanishad Su, right?
Correct. Same as
That's
tu
how it is.
Uddeshataha. Same as tu Uddeshataha. Same sandhi. Savarna Dirgha sandhi.
Dhanyavad. Dhanyavad.
Savarna Dirgha Sandhi, one of the easiest sandhis, no, in our sandhi class. Yeah, Haraprasad ji, go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Tavarjuna also same thing. Tavarjuna, we see it all the time. Tava and Arjuna. Yeah.
Yeah, correct. Okay, a couple of things, Mahodaya. One is when you are about to chant the last 42 sloka, you use the word, oh, we are going to chant the last mantra. I thought you told us once mantras is only from Vedas and shloka is from Bhagavad Gita.
Okay. So Haraprasad ji is raising a very technical point here. He's bringing up. He's saying the mantra. If I remember right, and I've not been, I've been awake in your classes, and I've heard you saying that mantra refers to the content of the Vedas, and anything outside the Vedas is not referred to as a mantra. And so must be called anything else, sloka, stotra, you name it, we can call it. Yeah, technically you're right. And sometimes in our classes, what we do, Haraprasad ji, we use the word mantra because this is Panchamo Vedaha. That also they say. Bhagavad Gita is equal to Panchamo Veda. How is that for an answer, So we
I
always
got the answer. Okay.
So
Didn't understand. You said you use the word shatkam, which you defined it as a whole word. In what connection are you saying that word here?
Shatkam. Okay. So you mean early on I mentioned the word Shatkam, right? Yeah, I said this word Asmi, Aham, etc. appears so many times in this chapter that it is a clue to us that it is part of the Ishvara Shatkam. So I use the word Shatkam when we said the 18 chapters are divided into groups of six, three groups of six. And that group of six is called Shatka. 1 to 6 is Prathama Shatkaha called Jiva Shatkaha, and 7 to 12, etc. 13 to 18. Yeah, that's what is a Shatka. Group of six chapters. Yeah, Anuradha ji, go ahead.
And my last question to you is, why you use in some places when we have a utvam, for example, prokto, we chant it as prokta, whereas we would hear vistaro maya. Why don't you use vistaraha maya there?
Right. So, it is actually Vistaraha, which became Vistaro because it is followed by a soft consonant. That's the rule. And that is why Proktaha also has become Prokto. Okay. Prokto Vibhutihi, because Va is a soft consonant, it became Prokto. So it is following the Sandhi rule, all right. But then, when we stop with Proktaha, Yeshatu Deshataf Proktaha, then what happens? There is a rule which says when you start with Proktaha, it means that Proktaha is not followed by anything. What follows Proktaha? Virama.
We,
Viramaha. It's a pause. Pause. A pause follows Visarga. When should Proktaha become Prokto? When the Visarga is followed by a soft consonant, then Proktaha becomes Prokto. But when we chanted, what did we do? What did we follow up this Visarga by? Followed by silence, a pause. Pause also is a important part of the grammar that shows. And so when it is followed by a pause, it doesn't follow that rule because that rule says if it is followed by a soft consonant only. A pause is not a soft consonant. Therefore, pro so should you should never see pro to there. It should be pro taha. But then in the mantra again, in the shloka again, view is there. So yeah, if you're going to chant it together, or if you are going to write it together like the way it is written in the books, then you will always see prokto. And then Vistaro Maya. So because Vistaro is always chanted along with Maya, therefore it's always going to be chanted like the way it is written. So it's a little nuance, and not everybody is aware of it, and therefore they in many ashrams they will just prokto. They will say prokto. So we won't say it's wrong or anything, but it's those who know grammar, uh, they do this.
Okay, when there is a prokto with a small gap, like one matra, the sandhi rules won't apply.
Correct, correct.
Okay.
It's called virama, and there's a pause. It's called virama,
Yeah.
and virama means that's it. You have to honor the virama. Virama
Yes.
has its own identity in grammar.
ಧನ್ಯವಾದः ಮಹೋದಯ.
Yeah. Okay. Good. So we will conclude with that. Oh, sorry, Anuradha ji is there. Sorry.
First question is, how do you put up your hand like that on the screen?
Yeah,
So
Vijay
you go
ji.
to the participants.
Yeah.
You go to the
Could you please explain the last line of the shloka? Vishtavya aham idam. You kind of started and then stopped. So is that what he is saying? Aham, Atma, and idam anatma?
Right. So Aham, of course, is Krishna is referring to Aham, and so Ishvara. Aham Ishvaraha. Okay. When Krishna says Aham, generally we don't interpret it as Atma. Generally. Because Bhagavan is talking. Bhagavan is talking. So Aham must be Ishvara, Bhagavan. So then Idam Jagat, Vishtabhya, pervading this Jagat. Idam Jagat, Vishtabhya means pervading, no? Having pervaded. I remain having pervaded this world. That is the meaning. Visht, I think, Vish, I think, pervade. And so, Vishtat. So that is what we mentioned. Idam and Kritsnam and Jagat go together. Idam and Kritsnam and Jagat go together. Samanadikaram. Jagat is
So
Napumsakam.
is that what he means? Like I'm the consciousness and that's the jara, anatma.
Correct.
This is anatma.
Correct. Correct. Jagat is Jadam. Jagat
Yeah,
is Jadam. And so the Jadam also is pervaded by me, which
yeah.
is who is not Jadam, Ajadam, Chit, Chetana, Swarupam. So I pervade that. That's the idea. So therefore, it's a kind of a Mahavakya. Aham idam. If you just stop with aham idam Mahavakya, that's a Mahavakya. Idam is Jagat. The entire universe is aham, I. And if you replace I by Atma, then it's straight Mahavakya. I am the world. I am the world. I am the universe. Okay. So very important statement.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, Vidyaji, go ahead.
Jaikumar ji, you mentioned the Jiva Shatka, Ishvara Shatka. So this other way of saying it is like Tattvamasi is a Tvam, Tad, Asi, right?
Correct.
And what is the third Shatka, what is it called? The Aikya Tat
So,
Shatka? Jiva,
yeah,
Ishvara and Aikya?
yeah,
What's a formal name for it?
we say Charama Shatkam. There is one technical word called Charama Shatkam. Okay? Charama is a very auspicious word used to refer to the last. Last literally means last. So they say, for example, Charama Shloka of Bhagavad Gita. What is the Charama Shloka? If they say, it refers to the last shloka of the Bhagavad Gita,
Sarva Dharman Parityajya,
which is not
Mamekam Sharanam Vraja.
which is not literally the last shloka of the Bhagavad Gita, because that is
Uh-huh.
what you said is not literally the last. But
Yeah, correct.
that last significant shloka is that Sarva Dharman Parityajya
Parityajya.
8.66 or something, 66 I think.
Right.
And so Charama Shatkam is one word that is used.
Mm.
And then Aikya Shatkam.
Okay.
Asipada Shatkam. Asipada Vichara Shatkam. These are all words that can be used. Asipada.
Okay.
Why Asipada? Because in that Tattvamasi that you already said, Asi, the equation between the Jiveshwara Aikyam is talked
Okay.
about.
That's very nice. Thank you. Thank you, Jaikumar.
Jaykumarji, so when it is mentioned on the last sloka, just one part of me. So basically, it's an expression. It's not literally means some part which is, let's say, it's within the time and space, not beyond time and space. So Jagat within the time and space. That's the meaning, right?
Yeah, yeah. So if your idea of world includes time and space, then it is definitely only one part of me. Because there is a world without time and space also. Okay, time and space is also two objects in this world. And every other object of the world seems to appear in time and in space, occupies time and space. And so, yeah, ekaha, amshaha. Yeah, that's a way to look at it. I want to see what, I didn't see what Shankaracharya says, ekamshena. I'll see what he says. Yeah. So he says, eka avayavena, eka padena, sarvabhutaswarupena iti etat. Eka avayavena. Avayava means part. Eka avayava. One part of me. One part of me. Amsha is avayava is saying. Eka padena. Eka padena. Also means the same thing. Pada here means a part. Not quarter, one part. And then sarvabhuta swarupena iti etat. Sarvabhuta swarupena. As the bijam, as the essence of everything. That is the meaning of sarvabhuta swarupena. Tathacha mantravarna. He is quoting a pramanam for this. You know what he's quoting? He is quoting Purusha Sukta. You know what he's saying? Padosya Vishwa Bhutani. He's quoting that mantra here. Shankaracharya. Okay. Padaha asya Vishwa Bhutani. Sa asya Padaha Bhutani. This God's one aspect is all this entire world. Look at the way Shankaracharya is connecting. Huh? Amazing, isn't that? So next time we chant Purusha Suktam, we should remember this. Padosya Vishwa Bhutani Tripadasya Divi Tripadurtha Udai Purushaha. Like that, immediately recall this last sloka of the 10th chapter. Ekamshena Sthito Jagat. Beautiful. See, like this, if you open, now you can understand why the Shastram is. We cannot stay away from the Shastra. Correct? The more you study, the more it just takes you, pulls you inside. And that too, if we memorize all these mantras, shlokas, and all, then the connections become even more alive. Yeah.
The 41st sloka, Adyad Vibhuti Machatvam, it's giving meaning, remembering Ishavashu Midam Sarvam Yat Kinchit Jagatyam Jagat. So is that similar meaning, right? So that is what it's saying.
Correct. So Ishavasyam Idam Sarvam. Idam. See that Idam Sarvam. Jagat. Ishavasyam Idam Sarvam Yat Kinchit Jagatyam Jagat. So there also Idam Jagat comes. Here also Idam Jagat comes. Isha. Isha. Ishena. Achhadaniyam. Like that Shankaracharya will say in the commentary. Achhadaniyam means our understanding of the world should be as pervaded by Ishvara. That is where my understanding of the world should be. That is what he's saying there. Ishvara buddhya achadaniyam, he says. Ishvara buddhya means what? Recognizing that Ishvara, that Satchidananda is what is pervading the entire Jagat. That is what, that's how he's going to explain that later also. So yeah, you're right.
Moving and non-moving, in all moving and non-moving beings.
So there he says moving and not moving.
Right.
Idam sarvam yatkincha jagatya.
Jagat.
Yeah. So there he doesn't say that. But yeah. Good. So we'll conclude that.
Thank you.
So we'll meet next class to study that, review the whole chapter. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Dhanvantaraye Amrita Kalasahastaya Sarvamaya Vinashanaya Trailokyanataya Shri Mahavishnave Namaha. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Dhanvantaraye Amrita Kalasahastaya Sarvamaya Vinashanaya Trailokyanataya Shri Mahavishnave Namaha. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Dhanvantaraye Amrita Kalasahastaya Sarvamaya Vinashanaya Trailokyanataya Shri Mahavishnave Namaha.
ಧನ್ಯವಾದ ಗುರುಜಿ.